life.
Okay, one ticket is 50,000, so you buy two, 120. Okay, I will give you 380.
Let's go.
There are two museums, number 2 and number 4. First, number 2, that's British with record, military museum. Number 4, Ho Chi Minh President Museum. Yeah. About number 3, beside the lake, Ho Chi Minh President House. Yeah.
So they got all the vehicles. But since we only have 1 hour, we're gonna do the inside first and then the outside, they said. So we'll show you guys all that stuff whenever we get back out here. Let's go inside. I'm guessing these are naval ships, military port. And the little history that I do know about the Vietnam War is that the communist northern Vietnam was trying to, overtake everywhere. And the reason why America got involved is because they did not want communist takeover to happen in all of Southeast Asia. They were worried that if Vietnam fell, that Thailand, Malaysia, Cambodia would all fall to communism. Vietnamese nation has precious traditions during the struggle for founding and defending the country from Hung King time to Ho Chi Minh time. These are all gongs. Whoa, this is so cool. Look, these are all gongs. And then these are drums. Oh, look at these guys. Tay Sun Martial Arts. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That looks badass. What the heck is that? It says, some primitive weapons used by 5th Zone Plains guerrillas fighting against the French army's attack. Jesus. Yeah, that looks pretty primitive. Some more artillery. Yeah, so I don't think that this is like the Vietnam War with America, involved. I think this is, I don't know. I didn't pay attention in history class. This is, I think when the French were trying to colonize Vietnam, and then Vietnam did not want that to happen, I'm pretty sure. These are all like mines, I think. And look at all these grenades. That's crazy. That thing is so cool. Imagine being behind this thing and just letting it go. All right, troops, we're gonna come over the mountain right here. Then we're gonna take them out this way. Then we're gonna hike back up this way. And then we're gonna take them out over on the coast. It's like a crossbow. That's sick. Sorry about all the glare, but I'm doing the best I can. That's a sick crossbow. Yeah, as I get older, I always want to learn more about history. So all you guys that know about exactly what we're looking at, talk to me in the comments about, correct me. And it's very interesting for me. So I'm just trying to give you information as we see it. Heavy artillery. Look at that thing. That's savage right there. Jesus. That is crazy. They're showing off the guns, I'll tell you that. They're everywhere. Oh my God, look at that thing. What is that thing over there? These things are all there's a helmet from a pilot. Frightened of the Liberation Forces attack, U.S. soldiers retreating in Plamy battle in 1965. The bomb dumps of American troops in Da Nang City and fired on January 31st. Yeah, I'm very interested to know. Like, let me know in the comments. Like, I'm pretty sure that the Vietnamese that didn't want communism were like on board with what America was doing, but you know, like I said, I didn't pay too much attention in history class, so let me know any veterans.
Fight against America.
Yeah, but I think like, you know, sometimes
I
they're...
think that was the North versus the South.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying, is I think that the fight against America is like, depicting like it's coming from like the North's point of view or whatever. Like I said, help me out. Yeah, they got artillery on artillery. Another boat. Yeah, this has got to be cool for any veterans just to even see this stuff. Yeah. You know, like, if I was a veteran, I think this stuff is so cool. Not cool, just interesting. You know what I mean? What are those things? An anti-tank, yeah, another mine. Was used to fight by the 5th Army Region in the U.S. resistance. I don't know if I should be offended by some stuff. Some watches and personal belongings. Got a chainsaw. I don't want to know what that was used for necessarily. Used for beyond the wood exploitation. I'm gonna head over to the next building. Used by soldiers of the Military Region 5 to support the infantry and combat and attack enemies' armored vehicles. These things are massive right here. Big mortared turrets or whatever. Jeez. Pretty cool. Look at this old thing. Looks like it still works.
Cute. I've never seen lily pads like that, I don't think. There's a coconut in there. Wow. Yeah, this is like an exhibit about Ho Chi Minh.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, because this is like the house he was born in. This is basically like a replica of his room where he spent his childhood. Wow. The countries that President Ho Chi Minh lived in, the revolution activity in foreign lands from 1911 and 1930. He lived in New York.
Yeah, look at them all over there.
And Africa and all of Europe, and he lived in Thailand, India. The pink in here reminds me of like a Squid Game. And like the green floor, and the fact that nobody's in here. It's kind of eerie. Kind of weird.
Yeah, look at him conducting up there, you know.
Very interesting.
It took us how long to get here?
Thank you.
We took, we did Thailand first and then we came here. And so this whole thing is for Ho Chi Minh?
Yeah, Ho Chi Minh Museum.
And is it like, I'm curious, the Vietnamese, like, think of Ho Chi Minh as good or bad?
Thank you.
Is it?
Thank you.
But what do Vietnamese think? Do they think Ho Chi Minh is good, or a lot of people think that he's bad?
Sắp xếp đi qua 20.
What do
I
Vietnamese
don't. He
think?
doesn't
Qua tất
understand.
niên là nghỉ sắp xếp đi.
Sorry,
Doesn't
I'm
know.
not speaking English.
Oh, okay, you're good. Thanks, though. Yeah, that's freaking crazy right there. It's got that big long thing on the front too. That thing is nuts right there. I'll show you guys all the tanks here in a second. I know a lot of people want to see those. Those look really cool. We're gonna come into this last building. We got about 20 minutes left, so we'll see as much as we can. I'm gonna ask somebody that speaks better English what they think about Ho Chi Minh. I just want a history lesson. I want to be informed.
This building may already be locked.
Yeah.
Because look, this is where like the people come out.
Can't be.
What's over there?
Looks like people's shoes and stuff.
Yeah, we're not supposed to be in here. Let's get out.
There it is. Going places they shouldn't be in Vietnam.
Oopsie.
I think we're all right though. I think if it was really restricted, it would like be out front. But. And I was curious, like I didn't pay attention in history class. A lot of Vietnamese, they think because Ho Chi Minh was like, you guys like Ho Chi Minh or no?
I don't know about this so much, but it's a Ho Chi Minh President Museum.
Right. And so,
major.
And so like Vietnamese people, like they think Ho Chi Minh is good, or they think
it's fabulous.
Nice, cool, awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, she said something about the house over there being like a recovery house. Yeah, so I'm not sure. So. Yeah.
What?
I mean, if I'm correct about Ho Chi Minh being the leader of like the Communist Party, she was like, yeah, no, Vietnamese, they think Ho Chi Minh fabulous. They think. I don't know what to think. I really don't. So let's show you guys some of these vehicles that they have. We'll go over and show you guys the planes too. But look at this tank. That is insane. The canoe used by a sapper regiment military to push ferries transporting people and weapons across the river, supporting the Region 5 battlefield and resistance war against U.S. imperialism. Look at that tank right there. The tanks are so cool. Or not cool, but cool to look at. Jeez. Look at these guys over here. Oh my God. Used by Artillery Brigade 527 Military Region 5 for training and combat readiness since 1980. Look at this thing. Mountain gun. These were used on the mountains. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we would be like the hippies or something during the Vietnam, in like in Forrest Gump when Jenny ran up to Forrest. We would be like in the crowd, be like, yeah, man, why are you fighting each other, dude? Why are you killing each other? That would be us. We'd probably be the hippies against the war. Yeah, this is crazy. Oh, this one is seized from the U.S. and the Saigon Regiment troops by soldiers and give me that shit back, Mom. Give me that back. Yeah. Yeah, give me my plane back. This one as well. This looks American as fuck. These are all, I think, American. Seized from, yeah, these are all seized from the U.S. It was, and they started using it after that. Look at those. Look at that, babe. Those were all like missiles and it's coming out of there. That is insane. All veterans out there, we appreciate everything that you guys went through during this time because this is a crazy time. I just think of like, you know, people like, imagine the cool ass dudes that were hanging off the side of this, just like going to battle. That is so sick. Like, that is badass right there. That is badass. Look at that thing. That's some American muscle if I've ever seen it. What is it?
1975 Air Defense Division, Vietnam Air Defense Air Force to attack the U.S. aircraft to protect airspace in northern Vietnam and military Region 5 between 1966 and 1975.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel like this is like, this is kind of like against.
I'm thinking that it's 100% against America.
Yeah, we don't like that part. I mean, shout out America in that sense of like, ain't nobody should be killing each other like that, you know. We're not really, you know, it doesn't really matter what we think. We're just looking at it, you know. Like, right, exactly. We're just people in their 20s looking at all this crazy stuff dropped by the U.S. Army. Yeah, this has got to be, these things definitely are.
What's this?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. This has got to be cool for veterans just to reminisce and everything, you know? Because I feel like a lot of veterans probably don't have the chance to come here and see this because they're older and stuff. So for us just to come here to show all this stuff has got to just be interesting and everything for them. I don't want to say cool because I don't know if I should be saying cool, but you know. Yeah, war's not cool, but I think you guys are cool. I think you veterans are cool. Seized from the 1st Cavalry Brigade of Saigon. It's a crazy thing. All right, let's go see these planes really quick. And then before they kick us out and make us U.S. prisoners. So times have changed, but yeah, I mean, I can definitely say we'd be part of the hippie regime. We'd be with Jenny. we'd be hanging out with Jenny, just yeah, man, no war. Yeah, these things are crazy right here. Look at these. Look at that. Look how sharp that thing is right there.
What is that for? Is that a missile or like a bomb of some sort? Or that's just how it's made? And
I
if
don't
so, why? Like, do they run into each other?
I don't know. That is a crazy. I mean, that would suck. Look at that thing. Is that a bomb?
That's definitely like some kind of.
Jesus. Against training for combat readiness during sovereignty dispute over Spratay. Used by Vietnamese People's Navy to destroy U.S. ships, landing troops, contributing to firmly defending the homeland's sea and islands.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
This is all just terrible. To be honest, it's all terrible. Both sides is terrible.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, that's a crazy looking tank. I think that's like used to like pull stuff. Like, look at that. That is insane. Oh, this one's U.S. Seized from the U.S. and the Saigon regime troops by armored regiment. That's nuts right there. Look at come back here. This is crazy. That's nuts.
It's the booty of the plane.
This is definitely kind of weird right here. Like this says, it's like a burnt up jet part. And it says, from the U.S. Kesna, Dragonfly shot down by the Company 7 Regiment. It's like, you know, it's pretty weird. Like they're like, you know, glorifying shooting down U.S. stuff. That's just, I mean, it's like mind-blowing. Dropped by the U.S. Army on Sa Long Commune. The post-war mine clearance carried by a sapper company. That's nuts right there, man. And then that tank says that it was seized from the U.S. and the Saigon regime troops. This tank right here. Wonder if any veterans or anything watching remembers these guys. Look at that gun on top of there. That's crazy right there. Imagine being behind that thing. All right, we're just about done. We're gonna see what else we can see really quick before we head out. That chopper right there is like, that's just like that's like legendary. That's like synonymous with the Vietnam War. Seeing all these things in all the movies, that's so cool to see in real life. Such an insane experience to experience in real life, seeing that stuff. You know, like in all the movies, you see that chopper and all the guys hanging off, smoking cigarettes and whatever. This is crazy. I don't know. Or this might just be another entrance. What is this? What is this? Museum or a military base? No English? All good, thanks. Y'all saw that? I kept the camera going. They don't know it. They told me to stop recording.
They didn't speak in English, so we have no idea what the place is called.
Or what it is. They just went like, do it with your hands, what they did to me. They were like, no camera, no camera. Oh shit.
Oops.
Whoops. Hey, shout out small-brained American. I'm just a small-brained American out here, just living my life. So, I did a little Googling, and it seems like that the Vietnamese people have mixed feelings about Ho Chi Minh. He's more of just like a national figure at this point because it's been so long since the war. But I do know one thing, and I do know that communism is bad. So, I'm definitely not in agreement with communist rule. And it was very strange seeing like all this stuff where it was just like seized by the U.S. and like,
That's weird.
yeah, and like them kind of glorifying the remains of shot down U.S. like military equipment.
A little bit sickening.
Yeah, it gives us a really weird feeling. Yeah, and so, you know, we're just tourists seeing places and everything, but pretty sure I'd be part of the hippie movement.
Yeah.
Jenny! Jenny!